We continue our series looking at the state of each and every franchise, and on this episode we break down the case of the Boston Red Sox. Let's get into it. What's going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast, and as I said in the open today, we examine the case of the state of the franchise for the Boston Red Sox. So when we look at this team, we have to begin with the acquisitions. Obviously, Trevor Story is the big name that was acquired by the Boston Red Sox, but they would also bring back Jackie Bradley Jr., bring in Hansel Robles, Rich Hill, Jake Diekman, and Matt Strom. When you look at these additions, they truly do help kind of solidify what I believe is the weakest end of the Red Sox entire franchise in 2022, and it is the pitching staff. I think there's a lot of questions that have to be asked about this staff, but we'll get more into that in just a moment. Now, as we look at the 2022 X Factor for the Boston Red Sox, I think there's very little question it is Rafael Devers. How Devers goes, I truly believe that's how this franchise goes. When you look at what this player is capable of doing, this is one of the most dynamic young bats in all of Major League Baseball. Yes, this is never going to be a Gold Glove caliber defender. And there's going to be questions about the failed extension talks and how that will play out for Devers and the Red Sox in 2022. But they don't really have to deal with that until next season. So when you look at what this player is going to mean for this franchise, this is going to be the bat that they need to build themselves around. Now, as we look at the state of the pitching for the Red Sox in 2022, again, this is where the biggest question marks come in for me for this franchise. Right now, I would grade it out as a C+. I do think that Boston has the capital and the means to be able to go after any available starter or reliever to truly help themselves at the trading deadline, push back, and get to the top of this American League East division. This is a very, very difficult division. 4 teams capable of competing and winning, not just the American League East, but the AL pennant as a whole. I think that when you look at Boston's pitching staff, there are some names to like. But at the same time, there's questions about the health, the stability of this pitching staff as a whole, not just in the bullpen, but also in the starting rotation. If they're not able to get length out of their starters and solid pitching out of their bullpen, the Boston Red Sox are going to find themselves faltering in this division. Now, as we look at the state of the offense, this is without question where this franchise shines, where this team shines. This is an A overall grading for me. Rafael Devers, JD Martinez, Xander Bogaerts are just 3 of the pieces to this franchise. And then they would go in and bring in Trevor Story. I think that Story truly helps push this franchise and this lineup even more so. I think when you look at the way that the Red Sox have set their lineup with Trevor Story hitting 5th, 6th in this lineup, it just shows you the level of depth that they have. Now, yes, there are going to be questions at the bottom of this order with a guy like Jackie Bradley Jr., who's never been known as truly a powerful bat in any sense of the word. But I also think that because of the level of depth that they have and the power that they have throughout the lineup, that they can withstand a defensive first Jackie Bradley Jr. Alex Verdugo is one of the most underrated talents in all of Major League Baseball, in my opinion, and there's going to be a breakout campaign for him in 2022. Now, as we look at the state of the franchise as a whole, it is a B+ grading for me. Again, it would be an A grading overall, but there's questions to me about this pitching staff. If Boston solidifies himself and acquires another pitcher or 2 at the trading deadline, they quickly vault up into an A-level franchise overall. But now let me get into my bold prediction, which really doesn't feel that bold. I believe that both Rafael Devers and JD Martinez will have 40+ home runs by the end of 2022. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings on this down in the comment section below. What are your feelings on the Red Sox? Where are their strengths? Where are their weaknesses? What is going to be the biggest thing to come out of the Red Sox season in 2022? Let me know all these things down in the comment section below, or find me over on Twitter to keep the conversation rolling at JLaracuente19. Keep it locked in all season long to the GLMG family with Weesibs, the Granny Geek Show, and of course here on the Baseball Banter Broadcast. For sticking around all the way to this point in the video, I want to offer you a promo code. Use the promo code BANTER to save 5% off your order on Baseball Banter Broadcast, our merchandise shop. Keep it locked in all season long as I continue to break down the state of each and every franchise, as well as bringing you the latest news, notes, and my personal thoughts, theories, and opinions on the game of Major League Baseball. Peace.